Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Jay.
And it's Kendra, and you are listening to Mood Swings, the podcast.
Now, Kay, this is like our third
This is our
podcast.
third
So
episode.
I'm
Exciting, right?
super excited. Yes, I was super excited. I couldn't even sleep. Probably because of my perimenopause, but I was really excited. So let's get our stories going.
Before we do that, let's talk about what we're drinking today and what the mood of the day is.
Yes. So I went ahead and opened up another can of the Arizona Hard, the green tea. It's
I
so
don't,
smooth. It
I
doesn't even
don't
taste like
like it.
alcohol.
It's why it's smooth because it's tea 5%. Everything's smooth at 5%. So I give that to my
Yes,
kids.
that's true. That's true. But what I
I
can
give
do
that
is
to my
drop.
dogs.
I can drop a tequila in there like they do with the champagne.
Ah, there you go.
Ah,
Now you're
see.
talking.
All right. What you drinking on?
I am drinking a nice oaky chilled Chardonnay. It's the best thing you can have for a Thursday
Oh,
evening.
that's what I'm saying. Hey, you know what? Thursdays to me, I mean, we got a lot of topics to cover, but one of them I definitely want to do conspiracy theory Thursday because I got a couple of things I want to talk to you about today.
Ooh,
But
that's
before we start
good.
that,
Good.
I guess let's go ahead and cheers that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Think. All right.
All right, let me get comfortable and buckle in because I like the idea of conspiracy theory Thursdays.
Yeah.
Now, I want to tell you this full disclaimer. You know, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist. And if
Yes.
I'm being honest, I roll my eyes at most conspiracy theorists because I'm like, come on now. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
I'm curious to see what you got.
Okay, well, let me just tell you something because I too feel the exact same way. However, going down the rabbit hole, you can't help but to be like, well, that makes sense. But does it make sense, right? And then you start rethinking your whole life, going, do I just sit there and just believe anything that is taught to me? I guess that's what we do. So going down in the future, if that's what we're doing, what's going to happen with critical race theory since we're no longer teaching in school? So they just don't know about it, and so it just got erased and it's no longer happening.
And then it'll
So
become a conspiracy
it'll become a
theory.
conspiracy theory. Exactly. Right? Because all the people who have lived through it are already passed on. And how can you actually prove that anymore since it's all been deleted and removed and erased from time?
Well,
Right?
let me just tell you one conspiracy theory that I do actually believe. The
Mm-hmm.
only one that I feel that is valid and that I would sit there and actually listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know what I'm going to say.
What?
The
What?
Garth
What?
Brooks, the Brooks conspiracy theory.
You
For our
know,
listeners, let me just give you a little detail and then we'll go into what you're talking about. So I stumbled upon this conspiracy theory that is every time Garth Brooks, you guys know the country singer Garth Brooks, every time he does a show in a certain city, there's a murder. People end up either missing or dead. And
he has killer music. I mean, come on now.
that's why, you know what? I don't fuck with country music because it kills people. Period.
Oh, well, you know where I live, and you know what just happened a few years
And
back here.
that
So,
Jason Aldean, he'll
Jason,
kill you dead.
kill you dead, man.
So the whole theory is that Garth Brooks is a killer. He's going into these cities and he's killing. I can totally see that.
Alter ego, which he had like the whole emo look and everything like that, which is crazy. People didn't even know it, but they did. So yeah, I'll have to look into that one. On one of our upcoming ones, I'll do some deep dives on some Garth Brooks and see if we can find some friends in low places, if you know what I'm talking about. None of you millennials know what the fuck I'm just talking about, but y'all will. Okay, let me get through my paperwork. Okay, so there are theories that I would like to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
please, listeners, if you guys have any theories that you want us to look at and do some deep dives, you are welcome to email us at admin@moodswingspodcast.com, and we will start doing some research and put them on our shows. Okay,
Yeah, great.
so all right, so let me go over the very first theory. Well, which one do you want to talk about? The flat Earth, or you want to talk about 9/11?
God, you put in some real deep shit. Like you put in some
Yeah.
real controversial shit. Let me ask you
Yes.
about this flat Earth. What is this flat Earth thing? What is that?
So I pulled up a couple of these top conspiracies, some claims, supports, and some counterpoints. Okay, so the for flat earthers, the common claims and support arguments. Okay,
Okay.
There's no observable curvature from the ground or commercial plane altitude. So if you're flying and you look down, you basically see
Mm-hmm.
everything looks flat. If you're looking at the
Correct.
horizon, it looks flat. Yeah, it
Correct.
absolutely makes sense, right? But you're looking in a certain distance. There's only so much that a human eye can see, right?
Yeah.
So I pulled up a counterpoint, and it shows that the Earth's curvature is observable from higher altitudes and via satellite data, which they're saying that that's all fake too.
Which are the pictures that we see from the satellites from outer space, where you see Earth as a round shape, right?
Yeah. So all the
Okay.
flat earthers who have never been to space, right? But they
Facts.
know better, saying, well, because the water always finds its level. Okay. Oceans should appear flat and not curved. So when you see them, it looks flat. You never see water curving like this.
Mm-hmm.
Again, are we putting atmospheric gravity and pressure into play? I don't know. I don't know what they're
So,
using to just determine that the earth is flat. I mean, I guess we're using the same logic to say Trump is innocent. I really don't know.
right. Okay, but that's my point is, first of all, why would we need to lie that the Earth is round? What would be the point of that? Like, what do you
I,
gain by making the masses believe that the Earth is round?
Geists, like
What?
racists, I guess. They don't like certain fucking figures and shit in
Guys, like,
circles.
this is my whole thing with conspiracy theories in general, is that I need to know why the lie was created to begin with. Is there motive? You know what I mean? Who's going to benefit from it? That's what can make a conspiracy theory more believable for me. I need the research to know, why would we need to believe that the earth was round? What is the benefit of believing that? Is someone going to get money from it? Is it going to
Right.
stop us from walking off the face of the earth if it's flat? What is the point of it? If there's no point, then there's probably no lie. But what do I know?
True. Now, the crazy thing is when I look at the counterpoints, which actually support the fact that I still believe that the earth is round, they're so big though. When I look at the
Mm.
like, look over there. There's no bombs here. Like, look over there. So it kind of makes you think, why don't we have straight up real data showing this is the reason why, asshole. This is why it's round, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go again, point for point. So
Okay.
the flat earthers say certain long haul flight paths seem illogical unless the earth is flat. Their response is flight paths are determined by great circle routes curved on flat
Mm.
maps. That's it. Nothing big, nothing anything. Just says that's what we do. I'm like, okay, well, can you scientifically explain to me how? Because that one word answer doesn't explain to a flat earth theorist for sure. They want to know a
Yeah.
little bit more information. It's all lies, anyways. It's all fake news.
Well, then what's wrong with me? When you just said that, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I didn't need any more explanation. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, you think about it. A hardcore conspiracy theorist is just going to take it. Oh, okay, well, I'm no longer a flat earther. Okay,
Yeah.
so NASA images are often labeled as CGI or composites. No
Okay.
true photos of the Earth. And the response is NASA provides high resolution satellite images. International space agencies corroborate them, saying these are real. But again, if you're this high level, how do we know? Right? How do we know? We don't. I don't have NASA clearance. I don't
Mm,
know. Is it really?
true.
Did they just make a coup and say all this? And then it would bring you back
But
to my second
why?
one, which is the moon landing, and saying why exactly? Why would we make that thing? Well, because again, America's best,
Well,
America's
the moon
first.
landing, yeah, I could see motive for the moon landing, but I don't see
Yeah,
motive for around Earth, to
me
lie about
either.
around Earth.
Me either. So the last point that they have here, which I'm pretty sure we can go down a whole slew of things.
Yeah.
The flat earthers say that Antarctica is believed to be an ice wall keeping oceans in, and that travel is restricted. So I guess we just stop. Do you remember the Truman Show?
Yes.
Do you remember when he found out that it was a show and he decided, or actually he decided he's just gonna get on his boat and fight the currents and get to the other side, and then he hits a freaking wall.
So I've never physically watched the Truman Show. I know the concept. I remember it,
Oh, well, that's how
but
he
I never
finds
watched.
out he was actually born, and a network actually adopted him, and through his whole life, they made the Truman
Yeah.
Show. Like, so he finally
Yeah, I
tries
know.
to break free, and he thinks, I made it. He's like, I can see that, and all of a sudden, his cell hits and rips through the
Wall of
CGI
ice.
wall, right? And all of a sudden,
Oh.
he's like on the backstage, like, what the fuck? What happened? So I think that's basically what flat earthers are saying about Antarctica. It's a big ass wall, and it's like China, and you can't go anywhere.
Let me
And
say
Trump want
this
to build.
though. Antarctica, there's some weird shit going on in Antarctica. That's what we need to look into. Because
Okay.
Antarctica is a lot of it is not, well, we know it's a lot of it's not inhabitable, but there are a lot of restrictions about where you can go, airspace, all that stuff. They almost treat it like an Area 51.
Okay, so let me just tell you what the scientific expert counterpoints are. Which
Okay.
again, tell me, is this enough for you to go, okay? The statement was Antarctica is believed to be an ice wall keeping oceans in. That's the statement, right? That's where I'm thinking you would
Keeping
counterpoint.
oceans in, meaning,
Travel, that it just stops. The ocean just stops at this one place and just kind of flows back.
so if the wall wasn't there, the ocean would just fall off the side of the earth?
Yes. Yeah, basically.
Wow. Interesting. Okay, go ahead.
So the scientific response is Antarctica travel is not banned. Numerous expeditions and tourists visit annually.
Oh, okay.
What about the
Thanks.
fucking wall? I just asked you.
Oh,
Just said
oh,
that.
sorry.
Why did
Oh,
you
yeah,
not
my
talk
bad.
about that? You just said, oh no, look here, there's nobody. Look, you can go visit Antarctica, and
So
that was
can
it.
you visit the wall, the ice wall in Antarctica? Can you visit there?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to look that up right now and see. Is there really a freaking ice wall? Did we just
And
make that shit
if
up?
you,
Is it another
if,
conspiracy?
but
So
what would
let's.
be the point? So can you find out from your counterpoints why, what do people have to gain by believing that the earth is round?
Okay, that I will definitely get back to you on that point because I definitely need to know why and what intrigued them, like Scientology. What makes you want to get into it and really,
And I was
bounce
going to
around
say,
the
who
couch
the
and
fuck
Oprah show?
cares? Like, who cares? You know who we need on this? You know what guest we need to talk about this?
Hmm.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay,
M.
okay. So riddle me this. Riddle me this. You know I will chat GPT the shit and ask that
Not
motherfucker
riddle.
hella questions, and then she'll straight up answer.
Yeah.
Why, when I say, is there really a large ice wall in Antarctica?
Uh-huh.
It says an error occurred. Either the engine you requested does not exist or there's not an issue processing your request. If this issue persists, please contact us through our help desk.
And we'll send the men in black to your house to
I think I hit the
laser your
art.
eyes and forget everything.
Oh, wait. I think I hit the Antarctic wall. No, okay. So I just reran it again. I'm just kidding. Just talking all conspiracy. Ooh, almost had the magas on me. All right. It's not
So,
here.
so
It
okay,
erased my question.
let me find my chat
My
because
question is not here anymore. It went right back to my perimenopause. Hey guys, just want to let you know that I'm going through perimenopause and I have been up at 2:00 every freaking morning until about 5. Okay. I do want some progesterone because every one of my friends who is on some type of treatment right now just sound like a baby. I'm over here by myself, just all alone, just laughing at all the Instagram reels, just laughing and doing all this bouncing and shit, and Earl all just shaking in the bed.
okay. So listen, I used my chat, which I lovingly call CJ. Actually, she named
Of
herself.
course.
So I was like, "Hey CJ, does Antarctica have an ice wall?" And she said, "No, Antarctica does not have an ice wall in the way that some conspiracy theories describe it." She said, "Here's what actually exists. There's coastal ice cliffs, which some parts of Antarctica's coastline are bordered by tall ice shelves or cliffs, which can appear wall like. For example, the Ron Ice Shelf or the Ross Ice Shelf, ooh, dress for less, have towering ice faces at the ocean's edge, often 100 feet high." Well, you know what? If it's something 100 feet high, I think it's okay to call it a wall. I think we're splitting hairs at this point, right? And she said there's also
No. But is it a wall, 100-foot wall that spans the entire length of the north to the south hemisphere of
so
the world?
from the windows to the wall. Let me see. She said they also have glaciers and ice shelves. These are massive sheets of ice that flow slowly toward the sea, where they meet the ocean and the edges can break off into icebergs. Okay, so we got that.
Mm-hmm. And
So
you gotta get the less jam for that. Don't want your edges breaking. Protect the edges.
fuck no. The ice wall myth. The idea of a giant ice wall surrounding the Earth comes from flat Earth theories, which claim that Antarctica is a rim around a flat disk Earth. This has no basis in science or geography. In reality, Antarctica is a continent with mountains, valleys, and a thick ice sheet covering it, not a circular wall. So, yes,
No, silly mortal. But don't
So,
ever come
yes,
here.
Antarctica has dramatic ice formations at its edges, but not a mysterious wall like some myths suggest.
You
So,
silly Negro. Well, okay,
silly,
so can I?
silly
That was
girl.
very thorough. Why the fuck that bitch couldn't tell me that?
Probably because you call her a bitch. Me and CJ have a
I
friendship.
don't. Yeah, I probably don't have that type of relationship with her yet.
Yeah,
So, or is she? Is she? I should respect her. I don't know what she is.
yeah. You
Oh
make her
well.
what you want her. You make her.
Well, guess what? That bitch gave me a lot of information on Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay, so that's good to know. So, flat earthers, if you're listening, you're wrong.
no,
Period.
flat earthers, call in. I want to have a conversation with you. I want you to educate me and enlighten me on the flatness of this earth.
They can't
The
use a cell phone because their aluminum foil hats interfere with the frequency.
This is
So
true.
they won't be
All
able to
of their
call.
double wides and shit. Larry, they're gonna come and get us. So okay, so that was just one. Then we'll slightly touch on things, seeing that our podcast is only a half hour. So the second one is this one's a touchy one. The 9/11 conspiracies.
Everything that I know to be factual, you're like debunking everything today. So what 9/11 was like a really serious thing. Over
Absolutely.
2,000 Americans died, first responders. It was the one event in our lifetime that I think truly unified us. It was an equalizer in terms of being American for quite a while. So what's going on with 9/11? Are they saying it didn't happen? I mean, we lived through it. So you tell me what's going on.
We did live through it. I remember the day I was listening to Biggie. And so it was all a dream. And then I found that out, called Earl. And of course, we all came together.
Yeah.
Now, one of the main conspiracies that I really wanted to look into, they're talking about a particular passport of one of the terrorists who posed as the pilot. Now, we've watched footage of this total destruction of two buildings. You physically stood there a few weeks ago, Kendra, in
Yeah,
Ground Zero. Okay.
I did. Yeah, I went
So
to Ground Zero.
now you're looking at Ground Zero, but I'm sure you could not even fathom the massive size of those two buildings with steel and everything like that, right? So
Well,
we
the
watched the
cutout
plane.
was in the ground of the actual
Oh,
building, so you can see the width. You could see all the. You could get a sense of how large that building was. But
good.
yeah, or the
I'm glad you
towers.
could. Yeah, good. So when I'm looking at the footage, it shows planes that are crashing in here, explosions, and you see one of the towers fall, and then of course you see the other one fall.
Hmm.
They said it was total destruction. The pilots' bodies were disintegrated because of the jet fuel, all of the,
Mm.
the fires, explosions, everything.
Hmm.
But one thing that was found by a passerby within 48 hours of the whole thing, which has smoke, rubble, debris. I mean, it's just a lot, concrete and dust. It's everything. A pristine passport of one of the terrorists. So that's the part that has confused me. And they said, how could that happen? Well, again, they're
So
going to
wait,
debunk
wait.
it.
I want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. So the suicide bomber on the plane, right? That
Hmm.
was disintegrated. They found remnants of a passport, or they found a full intact passport.
No, no, not the remnants. A full intact passport. But
Really?
but the black boxes didn't make it.
Did the black
What?
boxes not make it? I don't remember.
They could not find it. They were destroyed. They were gone because it
So
was
let
such a
me.
horrific explosion and fire and the heat and everything. Bent in metal, it collapsed this huge two buildings. But that passport, whatever kind of passport this guy got, that's the guy we need because it's indestructible apparently.
Where was the passport found?
Um, on in the site, not in the rubble, but on the street.
On the street. Could it
Mhm.
be that, there was, from what we understand, is that there were several people that were working together to make this happen? Could it be that someone else purposely dropped it in the street because they wanted his identity to be revealed? Is that a possibility?
So the planes, and I gotta find out what plane this particular one came from, because if he came from one of the ones that came from like Idaho or wherever that
Spirit.
place was, huh?
It was a Spirit.
Not Spirit. Spirit has the number one
Safety record. I know.
flying
Shut
rate
up
there
talking about
because they
Spirit.
cuss everybody out and just leave you if you don't pay for your bag. But okay, so I pulled this back up. Okay, so this is what it says: conspiracy theorist arguments. Conspiracy theorists often use this passport story as evidence of a cover-up or false flag operation, citing these perceived inconsistencies. Number one, implausibility. They argue it's suspicious that a paper passport survived a high-speed impact, massive fireball, and explosion that incinerated everything else, including the plane, materials, and black boxes. But this passport found its way there.
Remember, I told you a story. I told you a story way back in the day. Remember my old friend who said that she was in the Bay Area at a party, and they were in San Francisco at a strip club, and she was there. And that night, remember I told you she met
Yes.
4 Middle Eastern guys,
Yes.
and they were vibing, they were having a good time, they were partying. She said that they had lots of money, they were buying lots of drinks and just having a really good time. But she said they were very rushed, and she
So they're
was
like,
trying to.
rich Indians, they must be terrorists. Is that
No,
what
but
that's
listen to
it?
what she told me.
Racist.
She said, I don't want to put words in her mouth and say if she's trying to leave with them or whatever, but somehow the conversation went towards hanging out a little bit more. And they were like, we're only in town tonight. After tonight, you'll never see me again. And she said there was some other shit. I can't even remember now. It was 25 years ago. I can't even really remember anymore. But you remember me telling you this story? And
I do
she
actually.
said that
I
she
absolutely
said
remember you telling me this.
right. Was it maybe 2 days later? It wasn't longer than a week. It wasn't longer than 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Was 9/11, and she said when they put the suspects up, she recognized 2 of those guys. It looked like 2 of the 4 that were at the club with her that night.
Did she call it in and report it?
Oh.
So she holds a key piece of history of the world's worst terrorist attack on American soil. But she's like, I ain't gonna tell that nigga I ain't no snitch.
Well, one
This
thing,
nigga broke me off $300, motherfucker. I gave him a champagne room. What the
bitch, I got the
fuck?
Hennessy VSOP. I ain't telling. But no,
Shit.
seriously though, seriously. One, she's a black woman. You think she's gonna march in there to the FBI and be like, "Oh, I partied with the terrorists last night. We were twerking and shit." Like, no, she's not gonna do that. Secondly, she can't be 100% sure, but she's pretty sure.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean, she
she,
100% sure she is racist as a motherfucker. Because I would hate to be like, hey, oh, can I get a lap dance? No, this motherfucker's a terrorist. He's gonna blow our world up.
well, she was like,
Fuck.
and I remember being like, were they young? Were they handsome? She was like, I feel like all Middle Easterns are handsome. I mean, I do, and I agree with her
Absolutely.
on that. Middle
That's
Eastern
not even a
people
joke. That's
are
real deal.
beautiful fucking people. Like, they're gorgeous, right?
Absolutely. Their
So,
children, their women. I told you all my neighbors, my realtor. I'm like, God, you guys
yeah,
are
they're good
absolutely
looking
stunning.
people. But she
Yeah.
said,
Men,
that they,
children, women, all of them. Mm-hmm.
right. She was like, they weren't young. We were probably what we were like
Early
23.
20s. Yeah.
Yeah, early 20s. And she said that they looked like they were in like their early to mid 30s, which all kind of tracks for the folks. Okay, so go ahead. I took us down a tangent. I'm sorry.
Totally fine. Well, okay, so I wanted to kind of go over the other parts. So only one part I said is that the implausibility of one piece of paper or one paper document actually making it in pristine condition, right? Then they
Okay.
said it was too convenient. The quick discovery and identification of a hijacker within hours of the attack seemed orchestrated to some theorists. Okay. Number
Okay.
3, used to justify war. Some believe that this rapid identification helped quickly frame Al Qaeda and justify military retaliation, Afghan and the Patriot Act. Okay. And then last
Okay.
one, the mistrust in official narrative. Many skeptics feel that the Phil views this as one of many anomalies that they believe point to an inside job. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what the counterpoints are too, so that we can talk about that. So the answers are in the same order as what I said in regards to the conspiracy. So
Okay.
paper and debris behavior.
The
So this
what?
is you, Kendra. This is just you, just doing exactly what you just fucking did, and your freaking your scientific explanation while taking
Very
the piece of paper
scientific.
and dropping it. This is what it says: paper and
Don't get mad
debris
because I dropped
behavior.
science, son.
I'm sorry, I know science guy. In large explosions, light materials like paper can be ejected outward before flames consume everything,
Yeah, that's
especially in
what I said.
high speed impact with fragmental debris. So that motherfucker
Yeah.
came out, blew out his pocket, flew around and landed, but nobody else's pocket, none of their shit came out. No American's wallet or nothing. What?
He purposely took it out. He opened that window right before it sucked him out and went like this and flicked that shit right out. I was
And
like,
dropped that shit.
get it.
He said, like a mic drop. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So number two, passport found outside. The passport was not found in the rubble, but reportedly on the street below, suggesting it was blown clear during the initial impact. Obviously, obviously, like if my husband said that, hey, that hoe was over across the street. She was sucking my dick, and then a wind gust and blew her way over to that side. And I don't know what happened. Blew her onto my dick and then blew her away. I totally get it. It
That's a
totally
person. That's like
follows.
mass.
Yeah. So that's how that works. So, well, she is in the paper, but that's how that
She has
works.
in the paper.
Number three, not unprecedented. Other documents, including flight manuals and IDs, have survived crashes. In
Okay.
some incidents, wallets' personal effects have been found relatively intact. Okay, so were you talking about this crash though? Could you say, well, they have survived crashes? Of course, people fucking survive plane crashes, but the did it survive this particular plane crash? That's the explanation they gave me. Well, they have survived crashes. Not this one, but some. Okay, last one. So, black boxes weren't recovered from the Twin Towers, but were found at the Pentagon and Shanksville, suggesting conditions in New York were uniquely destructive and disorganized. The
Hmm.
fuck that mean? I don't even know what that actually means. So no, I mean that. Oh, he needed California to sweep up and clean their floors. I mean, what the fuck? What did that even mean as an explanation? Again, these explanations are so vague. It just doesn't make any sense. Last one. No evidence of planting. There is no credible evidence showing that the passport was planted or forged. What kind of evidence we're gonna have? A cell phone video of someone going, I'm planting that shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna have. I mean, basically, you never have evidence of a police officer beating the shit out of a black dude. All that
Well,
shit
no, we have
just
plenty of
just
evidence of
disappeared.
that. We have plenty of evidence of that.
Well, it disappeared, and the black
Oh,
dude disappeared. Your conversation and your thoughts, obviously, I definitely want to open this up to our listeners to have a conversation. Think, Jay, you're wrong. Kim, you're wrong. I'm not even saying anything. All I'm doing is stating what conspiracy theorists say, as opposed to what the counter argument is. I haven't said one way or another from the time I was born and went through school. I believe what was taught to me,
yeah.
but now I'm starting to think: should you always believe what's taught to you? Let's look into that.
I
Hey.
put it like this. I'm going to believe what they told me because I don't want nobody coming in my house in the middle of the night, kidnapping me and killing me and shit because I learned too much. I mind my business. I stay in my own lane. This is all shit above my pay grade. So I do remember this though. I thought I
Mm-hmm.
remember Al Qaeda taking responsibility and straight up saying, like, yeah, bitch, we did it.
Wouldn't you? If you said, "Dad, that was good," we did that shit. You know what? We ain't got enough money, but we did that shit. I'm gonna fuck. Death to America, right?
America. So I asked CJ, I said, did any
Mhm.
terrorist group take responsibility for 911? And she gave me some key facts here. She said Al Qaeda, which was led by Osama bin Laden, was behind the planned and execution of the attacks. It says the group claimed responsibility multiple times through videos and public statements. Bin Laden himself acknowledged and praised the 911 hijackers in a video released in 2004, saying that the attacks were a response to the U.S. involvement in the Middle East, particularly in Palestine, Lebanon, and Iraq. So, summary of the attacks was 19 Al Qaeda operatives hijacked 4 commercial planes. 2 were flown into the World Trade Center towers in New York. 1 hit the Pentagon near Washington. 1 crashed into Shanksville, Pennsylvania, after passengers fought back. So, the passengers fought back. Let's remember that. Hold on to that thought. These attacks were the deadliest on U.S. soil.
Did we ever get any cell phone video or video from the passengers recovered or anything to show proof of all the things that happened about? I can't remember.
It was 2000. It was 2000.
I'm talking about inside the plane.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I
You
don't
know what I'm
remember
saying?
seeing anything inside the plane. Like you said, I was just at ground zero last week.
Okay.
Actually, I was there last Tuesday, and there's this somberness there. There's this feeling of great sadness. I mean, you can feel
Yeah.
it when you walk in. It's thick, and somebody vomited right in front of the fucking memorial. So if this
Right.
was any type of way an inside job from someone in America, if this was any type of way something that was done by someone that wasn't Al Qaeda
So,
and
so you're saying
Americans
domestic
let,
terrorism?
if it was
Mm-hmm.
domestic terrorism, or if anybody let another group of people take the fall for this, my faith in humanity is already shaken as it is, but this would really knock me off my square. I don't want to believe that some group of people, a cabal out there, could be evil enough to orchestrate something like this. But also, I feel like people can't keep a secret to save their fucking life, which is some of the reason too why some of these conspiracy theories are hard for me to digest. All the people that were involved in this, and you think that they're gonna hold that secret all that time?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's unbelievable.
Take it to your grave and you'll be a millionaire. They're probably the one percenters. They're like fucking that. Every one of them work for NASA. All the one percenters. That's why.
I'm gonna mind the information that fits my pay grade. It's like when adults are talking and they be like, you stay out of grown folks' business. That's how I feel about this shit. I'm like, I don't know enough about it to speak to it intelligently.
We have thousands and thousands of podcasts that we can dive deep into this. But I think we ended this particular podcast with a cliffhanger to be continued.
None of that shit is true. It's all conspiracy theories. And now I've debunked everything for you. You're welcome. Thank you, America. I'm Kendra.
Thank you guys for tuning in again to our third episode. I hope you continue and listen to us on our journey. You'll never know what kind of mood we're going to be in. So we'll see you on the next swing. Talk to you guys later.
Cheers. Love you, Jay.
Cheers. Love you, Kay.